Hi, everyone, and welcome to a special edition of Outside the Ropes. I'm Tom Hannifan. I'm joined by Frankie Kazarian, and this is all in the lead-up to the 1,000th episode of Impact Wrestling going down this Thursday night on Access TV. To say it is star-studded would be an understatement, and one of the marquee matchups that we're going to see going down this Thursday night is husband and wife versus husband and wife. It'll be yourself and your wife, Tracy Brooks, against Eddie Edwards and Alicia Edwards. For Tracy Brooks, the original knockout, it is her first match in Impact in 12 years. How are you and Tracy feeling going into this match?
She is supremely confident because that's just the kind of woman she is. But also at the same time, you know, a little bit nervous because this is what we do, putting ourselves out there, and the physicality of it, it takes a special breed of cat. And when you take yourself out of the game for as long as she's been out of the game, it's not like riding a bike. So Tracy's been preparing, she's been in the ring, I've been working with her. I would have never thought a million years this match would happen, Tom. Tracy she loved her career. She became a mother, and she was good. She put wrestling to bed and became a professional mom, and she's the best one out there. So I would have never thought a million years this happened, but circumstances as they've played out with Lish and with Eddie, this is happening, and it's pretty cool that it's happening on the 1,000th episode. This time she can really put it to bed. This will be it, but she's not just coming back for another run or for different reasons people come back. She's coming back because she's pissed, and she's coming back as an angry wife, and she's gonna end things once and for all when it comes to Lish.
And this is something Tracy wanted. You tried to talk her down. Tracy was prepared to go to Scott D'Amore, Impact Management, say, hey, let me just get 5 minutes in the ring with Lish.
Yeah.
You really wanted to mess her up. And it seemed like for a moment that cooler heads had prevailed, but obviously when what went down at Emergence, the back-to-school match, Alicia getting involved there, that was the last straw.
Look, there's been a lot of collateral damage when it comes to me and Eddie. I'm partly to blame for that. And there was a very unfortunate incident with Lish. I don't know if Eddie will ever believe that was, in fact, an accident, but it was. That's what I saw for Tracy, potentially. That's why I told her to stay home. I know she's a fighter. She's always been a fighter. I don't want anyone else getting hurt. This is between me and Eddie, and it's more personal now than it's been. Now the reins are off, and I'm letting her handle it the way she's going to handle it. I couldn't talk her out of it if I tried.
This entire situation with you and Eddie Edwards, it's been well documented, stems from the time that both of you spent training under the late, great Killer Kowalski. And there's been so many little moments in this rivalry that have been fascinating. Obviously, the matchup you two had at Slammiversary, you were wearing the purple and gold that night as a tribute to Killer Kowalski. We were in Windsor, his birthplace, and then obviously the match at his school. But it was something you and I were talking about before we recorded this, is that on August 30th, it was the anniversary of the passing of Killer Kowalski. This was back in 2008. What are some of your last memories of Killer Kowalski?
Oh man, any memory of Walter Killer is a good one. Later on in his life, obviously I was 2008 he passed. I was very busy. I was working here, running, hot and heavy. So I didn't get to see him as often as I liked. We used to get together in Vegas. He would come out for an event every year, but his health started failing. Listening to him talk, listening to him, it's fascinating listening to a guy of that generation talk. I mean, we're talking a guy that was around in the 40s, 50s, a guy that was trained by Lou Thez. It's like, that's just a different breed of cat. We're still blessed to have a lot of really great veterans, but that's a bygone era that people don't realize how different the society was, but especially pro wrestling. So I was always just fascinated. Anytime he opened his mouth to talk, I'd tell a story about anything, it was just, I was just waiting with bated breath to hear what he had to say. So I have, honest to God, I have nothing but wonderful, fond memories of Walter. And, I think about him every day to this very day.
You talked about how in the mid-2000s you were busy, and you were busy laying the groundwork for TNA, for Impact Wrestling. Fast forward 21 years later, and we're about to celebrate 1,000 episodes of Impact Wrestling, of which you are on many of them in many different capacities, shapes, forms, incarnations, teams, championships, etc. Does it astonish you that it's gotten to this point? When you look back on it, what do you think of that body of work?
Yeah, when I heard 1,000 episodes, it was, wow. I think my first appearance for TNA Impact was on, episode 51. I think I came in the week before the first year anniversary. And so now 1,000, and first of all, this last year, for me personally, has been so fulfilling and rewarding, coming back and being in a place that I love and a place that loves me back, a place that I helped build and a place that helped build Frankie Kazarian. It means the world to me. This, by far, is the best decision I've made professionally, coming back to Impact Wrestling. And yeah, my God, 1,000 episodes. It just, memories come flashing back of Christopher Daniels, and Samoa Joe, and AJ Styles, my friends, the Machine Guns, and Tracy, and then seeing the formation of the Knockout division. I think it's going to be an emotional night. I think it's going to be a very cool night. I think we need to celebrate. We need a day like this to celebrate as a company, as an industry. This is a huge win for professional wrestling. To have another wrestling company this prominent, putting on top quality matches like no one can, celebrating 1,000 episodes. That's very cool. That's a landmark. And a lot of people need to be rewarded for that. And I think we're going to do that on the 1,000th episode.
You obviously care about the future of the business and where things are going. And I cycle back to late 2022, you'd come to Impact. And at the time, you were still signed with AEW. So we all understood Frankie is here and he's getting some limited opportunities. You go to Bound for Glory, you win your 5th X Division championship, and then promptly you exercise option C. You have a stellar matchup for the Impact World Championship against Josh Alexander at Overdrive in November of 2022. Then you were back to AEW. During that time when you were with Impact, that run, was there a particular moment, match, person, or conversation that really sparked for you? It's like, I gotta go back home.
Kind of that entire time frame. To be honest, at that time, I wasn't enjoying what I was doing. Pro wrestling has always been my first love. It hasn't always loved me back, but it's always been my passion. And what I can control is my time in the ring. Everything else, maybe not. My time in the ring is my time. I control that. And at that point, even that time in the ring wasn't as enjoyable, wasn't as fulfilling. And that's the one thing I always did love. And so I had to really take a good hard look and go, what's left? I was really spinning my wheels and felt that I was just running in circles. Wrestling Speedball Mike Bailey and having the type of match we had really did wake something up that was inside that, oh yeah, you're still very good at this. You still have a lot of passion. You still have a lot of drive, and you still have a lot of gas in the tank. And then getting in there with Josh Alexander, and my God, he's, I can't understate how incredible of a talent he is and how amazing of a champion he was and how he carried that belt and really gave that belt even more significance and meaning. And then having the match with him, and it was like, this is it. This is the wrestling I wanted to be doing. And it was time to bet on myself. It was time to, you can sit and you can take table scraps, or you can bet on yourself and go eat at the head of the table. And that's what I chose to do. And again, circling back to what I said at the beginning, the best decision I could have possibly made.
I think we all agree.
Thank
I'm
you.
a little
Thank
biased.
you.
We're thrilled to have you here in Impact Wrestling. Talking about the 1,000th episode of Impact Wrestling, it's star-studded, as I mentioned. You have Team 3D together again and in action for the first time in 7 years. The beautiful people are back. Maybe not everybody's thrilled about that, but there's going to be so many stars that are joining us that night. Is there anybody in particular like, oh man, this person really made my experience great here in Impact?
Oh, I mean, all those people, like we talk about the knockouts. I remember being here, watching that division form, like literally watching, Gail and Tracy and the beautiful people and ODB come together, and then having that battle royal to kick off the Knockouts division, and then I think it was Bound for Glory of 07. And just to see how hard all those ladies worked to make this, they had to fight for it. To this day, the Knockouts division is killing it. Scott D'Amore, I have to give him his flowers. He's the reason I got here in the first place, him and Jeff Jarrett, even a guy like Bubba. I know he's got a gruff exterior, and a lot of people have their own opinion about him, but dude, that guy is just one of those constants. Same with Tommy Dreamer, same with Gail Kim. I can't not say how important Eddie Edwards has been to this company. And Eddie, as he was coming in the door, I was walking out, and see what he did and how he's become a leader here and just he's become a Triple Crown champion. I can't not give him his credit. The people aren't with us anymore, the Bob Riders, who I hope people understand how important he was to this company. The Don Wests, the Jerry Jarrett, especially for me early on, those people were all so genuine and kind and giving of their time, of their knowledge, everything. And all those people, It takes a village, man. All those people helped mold Frankie Kazarian. I learned, what I learned in the ring from Jerry Lynn. I learned about travel from Bob Ryder, and what I learned about, wrestling psychology from Jerry Jarrett. And I learned, all these people helped make me. And I can't, I'm the man I am in large part because of Impact Wrestling. So I'm so psyched to celebrate this, man.
We're going to celebrate, but you're going to have to get in the ring and fight. So this Thursday night on Access TV, it's the 1000th episode of Impact Wrestling. Eddie and Alicia Edwards against Frankie Kazarian and Tracy Brooks. How does this play out?
I end it. All I wanted was to end it at the Killer Kowalski Wrestling School. I asked Eddie to show up like a man, and it would just be him and I, and he couldn't grant me that. He didn't have enough respect for me. Better yet, he didn't have enough respect for Killer Kowalski to do just that. So I'm gonna end it. I'm gonna end it in this match. His wife watching and my wife watching. Not only watching, and they're doing it. It's gone too far, and it's way beyond personal. So let's just say this. It's best that I end it now, because I know where I need to go in my head if I don't. And I don't want to go to that place. Let's end it.